boys with the heat, fire in the tone, straight from the street, taking the throne. Raw with the talk, not playing a game. No suits, no scripts, just fuel and flame. Pat McAfee got that showbiz shine, NFL blood, walking that line, but the Heat don't care about the fame you sell. They're loud, they're proud, and real as hell. Clash of the mics, who's gonna reign? One brings truth, the other's a name. Streetwise edge, a TV show flow. Turn up the volume, let the world know. Who brings the thunder, who brings the heat? This is the moment, no retreat.
I don't know
what to do with my hands.
I just want to apologize to Pat.
I don't know what to do with my hands.
Well, the car
for having fucking, what do they call it? Crazy fingers.
Yeah, wacky waving inflatable arm flailing tube, man.
Inflatable hand fingers, yeah.
Spirit fingers. I think that's our new wave for the show, though. So that's how I'm saying goodbye from now on.
We're going to offend a whole lot of different people with that.
That was funny.
All right, welcome everyone to a new or an extension onto our show. We realized that there's so much for us to talk about that we sometimes try to talk about so much, and we're like, nah, let's add another day. So here we are. We're going to add another day. So you got Monday Fun Day.
Yeah.
You've got Fantastic Fantasy Football Tuesdays. It's basically, we're just going to be talking about football, fantasy football, betting lines. We're going to be loving up some football. We're going to be hyper focused, I believe, on the NFC North and NFC East.
Well, we'll do our fantasy football and our pick'ems on Tuesdays because that'll make it even more interesting.
And then I wanted to call it Wacky Sport Wednesdays, but we're going to, whatever day we end up doing it, we're just surprised. We're winging it. So Tuesdays, we start our show with a Pop Minute. Wednesdays/Thursdays or Fridays, whenever we get the third show out, we're still ironing this out. We're going to start the show with the most recent sports conspiracies. And of course, there's a handful out there. For one, I just want to throw out there. I want to get the feelers from you guys before we jump into the really good one. Walk with me down this path. Jay Aldrich.
Okay.
And I just happened to glance at an iPad that has all of the things on it to shut itself off if it needs to. So I just happened to glance at an iPad, or let's just say laptop with no screensaver or anything like that, because it's not the fucking future, right?
Yeah.
And it just happens to be on the exact spot with just big enough letters to catch my eye that says Shedeur Sanders, and that's his cell phone number. And I'm going to write it down on my hand real quick. And then I'm going to put it in my pocket and save it for later.
My hands would have been sweating. The way I would add that number. I think what really happened, that's what he's telling everybody that happened, but I think what really happened is he took a screenshot of his cell phone and he was flipping through that fucking iPad. Okay. I think his old man had that fucking iPad wide open for him to look through.
That would work well in the NFL's favor, but hear me out. What if I told you the email with all of these phone numbers got CC'd to almost 6,000 people?
That would probably be a big leak.
And then you found out exactly where the fuck it came from 24 hours later?
It's in your dad's email.
All I have to say is I, as the father of a 21-year-old son, made this prank call. And not only did you embarrass me as a father, you cost me $100,000. I'm putting belt to ass.
It fits a little too perfect for this, because there was a buttload of people who got pranked called. It wasn't just Shedeur. Our boy Graham, just before he got picked by the Browns, got a prank call as well.
I'm pretty sure that's a normal thing, and I get it.
So, yeah,
I'm not sure this is normal. No, from my understanding,
not to the extent for sure. No,
this is a new thing this year.
The fact that you got caught
Well, you're dumb enough. For one, it was a terrible prank call. Like the worst. Put a little thought into it, Mark.
You don't even sound like the old
If you're going to do
man
110%, come on.
A fucking TMZ, and the dude that he got the phone number from was sitting on the fucking couch next to him. You don't think Daddy's going to recognize you in a video?
And there's the other kick. We all know you're dumb because you chose to do this. And I don't mean to be like, you had a dumb moment. I'm not calling you dumb. But
I'll do it.
So you...
I'm just saying.
Stupid.
But again, though, there are media personnel that also get the email with these kids' phone number on it. For example, there's a certain host on PFT that happens to get that as well on NBC Sports.
Yeah.
And I was just actually, it's funny that we're even, because I was just watching the show earlier today, and he was mentioning that he had the email with these phone numbers on it as well. So 6,000 might be a reach. Maybe it was 600. I know the number was around 6.
Yeah, that doesn't really matter.
But it's more than just the people who are drafting. You have like equipment managers and shit who are getting this. So once I found that out,
you went searching for this number.
Oh, absolutely. Like
you went searching for this number.
Yeah, I was thinking to myself, I'm like, wait a minute. Did you find this out so fast?
Because okay, let's do the numbers. There's 7 rounds, 32 teams, right? That's how many players getting drafted between a 3-day span. That's
200 and something.
So that's over 200 numbers.
Yeah.
Of just players. We're not talking about agents, whoever's attached to these players as far as personnel that they might have in their circle that's getting pushed for contact, whoever you need for teams. So you're telling me,
and they're all generally phone numbers that are brand new that you have to give to the league.
You're telling me
they usually do
that
give
your
burner
dad's
numbers.
tablet, computer, email just happened to be just on Shador Sanders.
On that spot, as you were walking by visiting your family, perfectly for you to then write it down on your hand real quick before anyone saw you.
Hey, put it out there too. What is Daddy's job? He's like defensive coordinator.
He's defensive coordinator for Atlanta.
Yeah.
Defensive coordinator for Atlanta. He hasn't even done anything yet.
Shouldn't have even
Literally
had
has
the list to begin
brand
with.
new.
Even looking
So
at
again,
it.
if this is my son and you cost me 100 stacks, not only am I cutting off all your cards, I'm putting you out my house. I'm putting belt to ass as I'm putting you out of my house.
Yeah.
Because it's my first year as a DC. This isn't like you're an analyst.
And you cost the owner $250,000 too, but it's like, how did they find out that's where it was? You had all these other pranked phone calls. Now, obviously, the video, the son, it just feels. Obviously, I'm not saying
it was
fucking the kid did it right, and somehow or another he got the number. It doesn't matter how he got the number because he's the one who did it. It was on the video. It seemed super sketch that a league that couldn't figure out Ray Rice smacked a bitch in the head. While being in an elevator
on camera
with a video on camera, but 24 hours they figured out exactly how this phone number got into that person's pocket. Exactly
before the draft was over.
They're either getting really fucking good at their job,
kid more than anything.
or this is just one of those. If we find out anything else, you take this, or we're gonna chop your fucking hand off type stuff, man. I don't know.
This is the equivalent of Anchorman. Ron Burgundy is prank calling. Your refrigerator running? Yeah.
Yeah. Dude, and the prank call was terrible. All of them.
Terrible. The prank call was.
This is my thing is the guy.
No thought into him at all.
The GM from New Orleans is old as dirt.
Yeah, and he sounded like a 12-year-old.
And then you sounded like a kid prank calling Shador. So I'm like, you can't even prank call him.
He didn't even get his own name. He stuttered.
And this is my thing. If you're gonna do something like this, have a voiceover, some type of app that can make you sound like you're old. Like you didn't even do this good enough to the point where it's like believable.
It wasn't worth the viral integrity that they gave it.
No, and then you cost
TV.
your dad and his employer a total of $250 for the team, and then $100 as your dad. I'm whooping your ass.
Do you think small question, then we'll move on to the next one. Do you think he drives a souped up Toyota?
Yeah.
He's one of them. He's one of them boys.
I bet he drives it. I bet he drives.
Part of a car club.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's gotta be That's just dumb. That's all I got. He's stupid.
yeah. So we're all in agreement. Stupid. You didn't even try. Okay, so something y'all have tried to get me to talk about, and I've been just the grumpy old man in fucking underwear. But this Bill Belichick and his girlfriend thing is getting to be a little suspect.
Told you, it's fucking
it's
weird.
A distraction.
Hey, the shirt he was wearing is fucking older than his girlfriend. That shirt.
I thought that too.
I saw
that too. I bet that cut happened before she was born. I bet that cut happened.
There was a fucking hole in the shirt.
I saw that she was taking some of his old Super Bowl stuff and cutting it up to make crop top shirts.
You gotta be shitting me. He wouldn't even. The only person.
Bro, do you realize
shirt was him?
She's amassed a $9 million real estate portfolio since being with Bill?
Are we aware of this? How to wear a fucking jacket, but she's got a real estate portfolio.
And a couple days ago, I watched that CBS, and he's blah 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 blah. How'd you guys meet? And we're not talking about that. And then somebody had mentioned that she's an acting publicist, but I'm not.
Call it what you want. She's looking like a fucking babysitter right now.
I'm not Matt Damon famous yet, but
that's weird.
I've never seen a publicist ever do that.
No. Did you see?
I'm like, it's starting to become a distraction on his part.
This is weird.
Like.
Even here's the thing that got me too, because I was listening even further today, was even Chuck. His last name is skipping me right now. TNT Chuck.
Oh,
Barkley? Yeah. Oh, I know, seriously.
We're in playoff mode right now, Paul. Playoff.
But old Chucky Barkley even was like, Bill's one of his dear friends, and
this is cringe as fuck. His project.
So yeah, he's gonna reach out to make sure everything's okay, because the vibe is weird out loud.
Patrick's been saying this for months, though.
I know. I do. I'm telling you, it's like I've been a pink flamingo in the backyard.
I don't think it's if it was just him and he didn't have her, I think he'd be perfectly fine in UNC. I think she's gonna fucking ruin him. Is the problem?
I'm like, if she keeps going in this route and this is every time something new pops up with her, it's just weirder than the last thing.
Yeah.
Okay. So there was
She's gonna shit in his bed. What's her face?
No, there was like a connection made, and I believe
her name is.
Yeah, Amber Heard. He's gonna Amber Heard it in his fucking.
Oh shit! But what's that Brad Pitt movie? Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, where he goes to that old man who's being trapped by the village hippies on some old movie set.
Yeah.
Is that where Bill's headed? Is like Once Upon a Time in Hollywood?
And I don't think it helps because how old he is, so it's just making it look worse.
Yeah.
Right.
And she's like mid-20s.
The guy at work actually said to me, he goes, "Is he in a conservatorship?" Ooh. It seemed because he's getting Britney Spears right now.
You would think
I've never even thought of that.
It's fucking weird, but hey, man.
His son is on the coaching staff, though, right?
Yeah, but is that the one that fucking was caught licking his fucking face and eating his boogers? Yeah, he's not all there. Steve's on the.
Are they all just waiting for Dad's money? Are they all just waiting for Dad's money to flush out? Is this what we're?
I don't know.
What is he? Man. What is Bill? 72? But he's in shape 72. I mean, he's
that Ring doorbell. Wait a minute. So that Ring doorbell video was that?
That was Bill. Real. That was probably her house. That was her house.
Was that at her house?
I'm speculating, but I'm gonna take a wild guess. He was.
Or
dating
maybe.
Her when that was going on.
Or maybe.
I'm listening.
It wasn't her house, and they weren't exclusive, and she's now gone Hallmark movie mode on her, or I'm sorry, Lifetime movie mode on Bill. I don't ever want to see you on anyone else's Ring camera again, and now this is why, right?
Just babysitting him like 24/7.
I'm the only parasite on this whale. Is that maybe what we're thinking?
73 years old.
73.
Damn.
I'm not jealous at all.
No.
Let me just get this straight. This is one of the reasons why I didn't want to talk about it for the longest time. I thought it was weird. But now it's weird not to say something about it because I feel bad. Like, we got to make sure he's okay.
Yeah, I hope he's okay. I want the success. What I'm seeing doesn't give me a whole lot of hope. I feel bad for the guy.
Oh, I'm not even worried about the football side of it.
No, his personal life seems like it's in shambles right now.
Because it's like finding out about that jellyfish that never dies. Bill is just like that with football. with football, all right?
Yeah.
But I feel like if he doesn't get a prenup walking forward, like something was serious. And he was screaming for help. Why am I so angelic? Oh, it's the glasses. I'm going to have to get different glasses.
There is an aura floating around you right now.
Maybe if I do this.
Yeah.
Does this look weird? Does
Yeah,
this
kind
like
of.
I'm wearing those Charlemagne glasses?
Yeah, kind of looks like that.
Yeah.
Looking fancy.
I'm so glad I'm here today, and because like I would have just said something
You're a
many months
bald,
ago.
bougie motherfucker right now.
So there's the Bill Belichick thing. Let's keep an eye out for him. Let's make sure he's okay.
All right.
I think that's the big thing. And then Patrick, you had one as well.
Oh yeah, we can talk about John Elway. John
Yes.
Elway over the
Yes.
weekend, or not over the weekend. This is recently, right? This is just
Very recent. Something smelled fishy. Now remember, these are sports conspiracies. So there's
all right. So
there's a bit of truth baked in to our aggressive mind casting. So let's
here's
carry
the
forward.
mess. There's a few really messed up parts of this.
Yeah.
Elway's his agent, longtime friend Jeffrey Spurbeck, 62, fell off a golf cart being driven by John Elway as they were leaving a stagecoach after party. The golf cart happened to obviously, like you said, it was a sharp turn, which we've all
Yeah.
dicked around with golf carts. This could happen.
If you're not paying attention, you could launch out of a golf cart quickly.
John
Fast.
Elway did call 911, but here's the kicker, Charles.
Yeah.
The sheriff's department and the police didn't find out about it until 2 days later.
Did the nobody call the police?
Well, 911 came and took the man to the hospital. And I believe he died of his injuries in the hospital. And like Charles, I'm going to speculate and say that he hit his head and probably died from internal bleeding in his brain. It's pretty obvious how he died. He must.
So
have
who's
hit his
at
head.
fault with this?
No,
I'm
we-
not- I don't. It's an. I'm going to assume it's an accident, but alcohol
Right.
was involved. So that means there has to be some kind of legal action because you can't just.
I wonder if there's a blank
So they're
versus
still
blank
technically
97
operating.
about
I
a
don't-
golf cart operating drunk. Yeah, because this could change golf courses forever.
Well, that's what I'm wondering because it's such high-profile people. Yeah, there could be. Maybe they're putting doors on the damn things now.
Because if the family,
Sue?
Yeah.
but would they?
I don't
Elway's
know
such
if
a
they
good
would.
person.
I
think
don't.
I
I
hate
I
it.
think
yeah,
the
my
story
Again,
would
it could have been genuinely an accident. However,
But
It was
I
an
th- I-
accident, but it's a
I
really
think-
fucked up situation, is what it is.
But as the story unravels, the truth will come out. Whether it has already come out or not, that's
Understood.
not what we're saying. What we're speculating is that if the family does end up doing something else via, and we'll find out via MS.
Well,
Well, right,
and-
because the details will dictate what they're
Absolutely.
what's going to happen moving
Yeah.
forward.
so if you were,
But
if
I'm
you were
guessing
this
on the
person's-
2-day part, I'm guessing on that, the reason they didn't find out for 2 days,
right?
one of two things per se. He was either conscious when they went to the hospital or conscious at some point, and somebody other than Elway caught a version of the clip of what happened via this gentleman, and it didn't cause
Or it's
for
literally clickbait. Yeah.
yeah, it wasn't a cause for concern until after his condition worsened,
Because
and then he passed, and then
obviously
you had to
called
connect the dots on
911
why
and
it
stayed
passed.
there.
Yeah,
There was an incident report filed. It just wasn't filed with the sheriff's
Yeah.
department for two days. It was alive, obviously. There was no
terrible.
cause for this.
Yeah,
It's an awful
terrible.
This is
situation.
definitely a tricky situation then for both
Yeah.
parties. Though. It's
To be honest, the people saying that he's a fucking murderer need to get off your fucking high horse and start looking at
not
other
like he
people.
threw him off the damn
Charles would
cart.
say, go touch fucking grass.
Is
Seriously.
it my head?
I don't
think
know.
it's my head causing it.
No, it's your camera. You think your camera is seeing the reflection off your head? Your nicely
Off
shaved
my head, yeah.
Ooh, give you a
I'm
nice
like, it was
roll
a
there.
genuine.
I got a
accident.
new
It's
razor.
not like he threw him off the cart when he
No,
making
no.
the
I was
it's not
playing
like
devil's
it was a-
advocate with Charles earlier, and
Yeah, we had a
I
good
wasn't
time with
trying to
it.
be funny with it. I was generally concerned with how the situation was going to play out, and we'll find out.
We gotta wait and see how this plays out once
Yeah,
everything comes
yeah.
out.
I
Well,
think.
speaking of playing out,
Go ahead. Go ahead.
you got some news for us with the what's going on in the NBA now.
Okay. All right.
So we got to know, Charles. You got to take for us.
I don't have much tape,
No,
but
take
I do
all
have.
take.
I do have tails. I do have tails.
Can I say
Tales-
a Shannon,
tales
can
from
I
the
say
crypt.
a Shannon thing?
Yes,
Of course.
I got
Of
one.
course.
I'm gonna steal one of his.
Yeah.
UFC, KFC, OKC, Lakers at 5.
Like it's a-
Well, the Lakers did go at 5, and apparently this has been a pretty solid conversation. So JJ Redick in Game 4 didn't play any subs in the second half.
no, none. They were desperate. They were desperate to try to come back, and it wasn't working. Is that terrible coaching, or is
That's absolutely terrible coaching.
Yeah.
How the hell are you going to come into a league? The NBA has been around for over 75 years.
Did you also see that he said he wants his team to be in game shape? Go fuck yourself. These are NBA athletes, dude.
He wants the basketball to look pretty. I thought that was super weird as well.
No, dude.
I
want ballers.
Do we know Rudy Gobert's free throw percentage?
I knew this was fucking coming.
I'm about to look it up right now.
Coming. I should have done this earlier. Charles, hit us with it. His career free throw percentage or just playoff?
No, in these 2025 NBA playoffs, he's shooting 50% from the free throw line in these 2025. So why didn't they do Hack-a-Shack? You didn't have the height. You didn't have the height. And this is okay. So that was game 4. The Hack-a-Shack at this point, I'm questioning because of the final game of the series. Like the excuse for what you did in game 4 and the reason why people were okay with what happened was you were trying something different. Okay, far be it from you to think that something Phil Jackson and Pat Riley and all of them have never done in their fucking careers. They've won way more than you, but they've never done any of that. So they don't do that, but you're going to do that. So that's cool. So you didn't try it. So why didn't you try the Hack-a-Go-Bear?
The Hack-a-Bear? No, say the Hack-a-Bear.
I think he had 27 points and 24 rebounds. I do remember correctly. And fact check me on this, Paul. The Minnesota Timberwolves missed 17 threes in this final game.
I'm pulling it up right now.
How many did they shoot?
Hold on. So they were from 3 points. Let me see. They were 32% from 3 point. So from the three, behind the three, they were terrible, essentially.
Yeah.
Terrible.
Yeah.
And
that
was
17 threes in the final game. Do you know how many?
That was a series. I'm sorry. I'm pulling it up right now.
Yeah, I think it was game 5.
Yes. I'm just waiting. All right. Bear with me a moment.
Well,
you want to know the stats from game 5? I can give them to you.
Anybody. Don't matter to me. I thought it was super interesting.
So
they were a ballsy.
From 3 points, they were
14%.
50. Yeah, 7 of 47.
7 of 47. Yeah.
But the Lakers weren't all that great either. They only made 4 more than what Minnesota did, but they also shot 10 less from behind the arc. But 15% from 3, 40% overall from the field goal.
Yeah. What was their offensive rebounds?
They had rebounds. They had 18 to 8. Minnesota. They had 54 rebounds total.
Probably 10 of those were probably Go-Bears.
And they had 5 blocks, 8 steals, and they were shooting terrible.
You have an entire
terrible game. Yeah.
You have an entire bench that you didn't trust. So at what point in the game do you just put them in and go, "Hey, Hack-a-Go-Bear"?
I'm going to show you the minutes, all right? So these are the minutes for the Lakers. So the starting 5 was Reeves, James, Doncic, Hachimura, and Finley Smith. 41 for Reeves, 40 for James, 40 for Doncic, 39 for Hachimura, 29 for Finley Smith. You ready for the bench?
Yeah.
Gabe Vincent, 26 minutes, 0 points, 3 rebounds, 2 assists.
Just tell him, Paul. They only had 4
Vanderbilt,
points. Vanderbilt,
19 minutes, 2.7 rebounds, 3 assists.
That's it.
Max Kleebler, 5 minutes, 2 points. That's it.
Yeah, and
they didn't
I believe
anywhere else in the bench.
I don't think anyone in their right mind knew Max Kleebler was even on the Lakers. I don't think he's played in months. He was hurt. He hasn't even practiced.
You could have started.
He averaged 3 points a game for the whole fucking season. So yeah, he wasn't even a bench guy.
And this is the crazy thing.
We're blowing you out, guys.
The Timberwolves used the exact same amount of players as the Lakers did, but they rotated a whole lot more.
Yeah, absolutely. Then they had this whole blitz plan where they would, anytime old boy got the ball.
Anthony Edwards was goose egg for 11 from 3.
But that's what? Yeah, because he didn't have to. Here's what was happening. He would come down with the ball. Yeah, he would come down with the ball. He would get to the 3, and 2 Lakers would run at him. He would chuck it up. Rudy would grab the rebound,
27
and dunk it in.
for Rudy. And then you still got 23 out of.
They
out
made
of
Rudy
Julius Randle.
Gobert look like an all-star, bro.
Like, he's not though.
Oh,
But he was efficient. He was efficient last night.
He was an all-star last night.
He's been pretty efficient all season. He has
Yeah, listen. This is something that we on the show we can't stand Rudy, but I mean for the Lakers, for the Lakers to make the dude, he's second most overall rated player in the league, huh?
Again,
no, he averages a double. He's not an all-star. But
voted on by the players. He's the second most overrated player in the league.
Oh yeah.
For somebody that keeps getting called,
Tyrese is number one, who we'll be talking about next.
For somebody that keeps getting called a defensive liability, being a four-time DPOY, but yet your constant tag on your name when it comes to the playoff specifically, you are a defensive liability because you can't guard the perimeter.
Hey, 2 blocks and 0 turnovers last night for Rudy.
I'm proud of you.
Probably the only time in his entire.
But was he 27 and 24?
I need him to
Tonight,
be this kind of game every single night.
Yeah, you need that from him every day. And the playoffs, every fucking night.
I need him to at least average a 20-20 every game, or at least a 20-15 every game.
And so it was Lakers in 5, then it was Lakers in 7, and they lost in 5.
They keep changing it. They keep adding another game.
It's not good for. And I'm like, you got to see it as Doncic has to be frustrated just because.
Okay, so I'm glad you bringing this up. So
again,
we've now established that JJ Redick was the issue for this Lakers team. Now, why they lost the series is because of the roster Rob Pelinka put together.
Right.
Why they lost in the playoffs. Why they look terrible is because of JJ Redick, and that's what I'm going to stand on. So now, PR, you had just talked about Luka Doncic has to be upset moving forward. Here's my question. LeBron James has a player option next year that pays him $56 million. What are you going to do if you're the Lakers when you're paying a 43-year-old $56 million?
Financially, the Lakers can't do
in a salary cap league.
Nothing.
Yeah.
It's all on LeBron.
Yeah.
So what do you... So here we are, Lakers in limbo.
If he wants to retire, if he wants to opt out and re-sign another 2-year, another 1-and-1 deal again.
Can I tell you something right now? They can't trim the fat anywhere because their entire bench for the Lakers, I believe, is only making $35-40 million. Their entire bench.
So
there's no fat. There's no fat to trim.
And this is something we're going to talk about with Milwaukee coming up here too. But I've heard now people are like, we need to put Reeves and Rui on the chopping block. And I'm like, you realize
Reeves, you're getting rid of one of your best players. That doesn't.
You realize it's the NBA? Yeah, this isn't an NFL draft, bro. Like, you're not going to get enough back in compensation to pick up for what those two are able to produce.
I think Rob and Jeannie need to have a sit down with LeBron and legitimately talk about moving on from LeBron at this point. And it's not just because that's great that he's still averaging 25 points a game and he's able to play at this high level. I get it. Cool. That's cute. But going into your 23rd year, if you decide to come back,
he's at an age
are
you know
more
how to play
detriment to the team, and as far as can you actually get us to the promised land? Yes, we got to the playoffs as a 3rd seed. Frankly, I think that was more carried by how Luka played that second half after the trade. I feel like he carried more of the weight. I think you move on and you build around Luka. I think that's, but you can't get a Reeves, you can't get rid of Rui. I'm like, I could see maybe possibly you moving off of Rui, but you can't get rid of Reeves. That's one of your guys right now. And he's worked to get where he's at now and everything like that. But I think LeBron needs to walk away. I think
Nico's stink has become less stunky. Especially, I get it, but I tell you, if the Mavs would have stayed healthy, you got Klay Thompson, Kyrie Irving, and Anthony Davis in the playoffs. Anthony Davis isn't going to stay healthy all season, but Anthony Davis healthy in the playoffs might be something special.
I'm like, them losing in 5 as the way that they lost to Minnesota.
I mean, to battle for that 8-3, come out on top exactly where you wanted to be, the 3 seed.
And you still lose the way you lose, and you don't lose. You didn't look competitive most of the games.
Right. And on to the LeBron James point too, and then we'll move on to the Milwaukee Indiana game, and then we'll touch base on a couple of the other ones. The Heat Cavaliers game. There's no reason to be talking about that.
You knew that was going to happen.
Well,
yeah, 30 and a half
there's
points.
A lot of games
crazy.
that you don't need to talk about. We knew it was going to happen in a lot of.
So, LeBron James in the fourth quarter, I think,
the worst
was like 0 points and 5 points his last two games. What was his last game?
Let me see. I don't know if it shows it by quarter. But he scored 22 points for the whole game.
22 points for the whole game, which, okay, all right, again, 42 years old. That's cool, playing at a high level. But you got a 42, 43-year-old coming in with $56 million. The question I want to pose to you and the listeners, rhetorical, how long does Bronny James stay on the Lakers with his dad gone? Moving on to sorry.
How long
moving
does
on
he
to
stay? He's gone the minute Poppy leaves. He's gone.
He's probably going back down to G League for at least another year or two.
I'm just saying.
Hey, if he can dominate the G League,
we're not going to find out until this man decides to walk away.
probably.
You know
and you know he ain't walking away because he didn't have his goodbye speeches at every stadium. So he's coming back next year. How much is he going to be coming back for? If anybody thinks LeBron James is retiring, you're fucking crazy.
Oh no.
If he wants, listen, whether
he wants a Derek Jeter goodbye.
He wants a farewell tour, like Kobe got.
Yeah,
he wants a farewell tour.
He wants a Kobe farewell tour.
And
you are going to hear from this man. Yep, you're going to hear from this man in 2 years, and the Lakers are going to give him it, and he's going to be paid his $56 million. So Laker fans, buckle up for a farewell tour, and you can
last year.
Yep, you can expect something different maybe next year, or not next year, but the year after. But the thing that does have me befuddled as well is the extension for Pelinka after completely destroying the championship team and leaving you with this now. And this is the sour taste you're going to have in your mouth for the next couple of years because it's LeBron's farewell tour next year.
Yeah.
And if this is the team that you're going to give him, you might as well just get ready
prepared to be disappointed. Yep.
You don't have to guess. He's going to be 43 years old, and he was tired at the end of this season.
Really do so much.
Congratulations. Like, doing that shit 42.
He did everything he could.
Years, doing the exact same thing for 23 years to say.
He is probably on a list, and we could name out maybe a few names, but off the top of my head, he's one of the only people that came into the league expecting greatness and more or less surpassed all expectations.
Yeah.
So
painful.
Our conversations about him have never been about him not being a top 2 basketball player. So moving on to Milwaukee and Indiana. Milwaukee had a fantastic collapse. We touched about this briefly, but the two things I really wanted to talk about were the senior Halliburton and Antetokounmpo incident on the sidelines. I don't know if you guys saw that. Did you guys see that? So for those of you that don't know, Tyrese Halliburton's dad, Oshkosh native, by the way, we love the guy. We
love the guy, just don't love what you did.
Yeah.
Pretty classless move.
And then the excuse that he gave on the news thing made it so much worse. Yeah. But so 118, 111, 40 seconds left, 119, 118 overtime. Indiana wins. Next thing you know, you've got Tyrese Halliburton's dad basically in the middle of the basketball court and
holding
flapping a towel, and then he turns and Giannis is standing there. He flapped the towel, and now if you go to the interview with Mr. Halliburton afterwards, he says, I wasn't looking at him, I was looking through him. And I was saying, yeah, but I wasn't looking at him. I was in the moment looking through him.
That's funny because the audio from the freaking cameras and the microphones was saying, this is what we effing do. This is what we
effing do.
And then he was like, and he was literally saying, F you. Yeah, I get it. He caught in the moment, but to jump out on the court made no sense to me.
So how did security let that happen?
I don't
Again,
know.
I think because he's his dad, they assumed. Because again, they're celebrating.
People
the
should be
series
fired
win.
for this,
Fuck
right?
that,
Because
Paul. Hakeem
Listen,
Olajuwon
I
couldn't
don't-
even celebrate with
Listen,
the Houston
I
Cougars.
see
so
no
he was
reason
allowed on
for
the
him to
court.
be on the court. I see no reason for him to be on the court.
we almost had this generation's Malice in the Palace. You realize if Giannis
Oh.
wasn't the person Giannis was, he
would've
would have
choked him
grabbed
out.
him by the wrist, grabbed him by the ankle, and Superman tossed that fucker into the audience.
Let's paint this picture for a second. Let's
All
just
right,
paint this
paint it.
picture. This is Giannis Antetokounmpo. This man
Whee!
is 6'10",
Like a fidget spinner in the
like
air.
220, 230 pounds of probably 2% body fat.
Yes.
And you, Halliburton Sr., are probably 5'10", 180 pounds soaking wet. He would have strangled you with 6 people in front of him and still grabbed you by the throat.
Yeah. So now Tyrese and Giannis and everybody has come out, and it's a sour taste. Now, do we think that the NBA should step in at some?
Are you going to do what they did to Ja's dad and suspend him for the playoffs?
You've got the thing with Ja's dad coming in. You've got a lot of this with the NBA coming in with the parents. Now, one of the best things about the NBA is those floor seats. But at this point, you've got to be making well over 6 figures to enjoy those floor seats to any capacity. So it's not like us, the everyday fan, who generally pays for the lights to stay on in those buildings, are going to be hurt. It's the people with money who are going to be hurt. So I expect the NBA to do something specifically, because otherwise this has got to go.
You guys, you want to watch the video?
Go ahead.
If this was my dad, I'd have whooped his ass on the court.
Yeah.
Crowd's lighting up. They're fucking.
Yeah, it's crazy. It was a collapse. It
All right,
really
there's the end of
was.
the game. All right. Yep. Giannis is pissed.
Minded his
There's his dad coming with the towel.
It in.
Why is he walking out? How does he get that far out on the court? Not a security guard.
Look-
There's
looking
somebody with a
past you.
camera. Look at the
literally
media
talking
guy
crap.
ready right there. The media guy's there now. Now a bunch of camera come in.
Shout out to
That's
Where
Pat
the thing.
McAfee
Giannis
for
is
is
coming
looking
in there and
confused.
getting
security?
Like, why
all
is
of
this
that.
man talking to me?
How did that
I didn't
happen?
even know who the fuck he was.
He's like, who are you and why are you talking to me?
He thought he was.
How
Probably thought
did
he was
that
a
happen?
fan. Yeah.
See,
That is
that's
the thing. The only time that it's acceptable for a parent to come out to the court, in my opinion, in a situation like this,
yeah.
2 times. One, the
Uh-huh.
conference finals, because you're going to the NBA finals, or
Yeah.
you won the NBA finals.
Okay.
Still, even when you walk onto the court,
Yeah.
I promise you, if you're my parent and I'm seeing you over here being disrespectful to my opponent, regardless of whatever beef me and you might have, this is not your lane. You
Yep.
are supposed to be a supporter of me, and you
Yep.
are now making me look even worse because you out here acting an ass.
Yeah. Okay, so let's say I have to disagree with you there. I think there is only one just reason to run out on the court if you're a parent.
Somebody gets hurt.
Your child collapsed.
Yeah. Somebody
Yep.
got hurt. Yeah.
I can't. I'm like,
Yep.
listen, there's no. I don't think
I mean,
like
unconsciously collapsed, right? Not the Dame ACL tear, which, for
now
the
LeBron
love of,
flop.
not the LeBron flops, which there is
Like
an
an actual
hilarious
injury.
LeBron flop
Oh, are you talking
from
about
last
the one
night.
where he peeks through his eye?
Oh no, that one was from a couple days ago.
From
There was a
tonight.
great one from
He
last
got-
night.
he was the
dude.
last slam.
Yeah, dude got
Oh,
touched
boy.
by a candy cane basically,
He
and
basically
hit
got
the
touched
ground.
on his calf.
yeah, he would not have made it in the 90s. I'm 42.
God,
You shouldn't be out there.
He was
But
oh,
Either way,
no, okay, so we're pretty much all in agreement with this one. I think as much as you can blah 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 Mr. Halliburton, to be honest with you, he was in the moment, loving his son, loving the things. That's not his fault.
What do you-
The people around him failed. But a huge shout out to Giannis Antetokounmpo for just being heated in that moment, to lose how they did, and then to have that happen, and just shout out Giannis Antetokounmpo. Now, to all the Milwaukee fans out there, and all the other people, I've now seen Giannis Antetokounmpo photoshopped in almost every jersey in the NBA. We know how bad everybody else wants him, because arguably he, along with Joker, should and could be the first, or should have been the first, back-to-back MVPs. He could have been given it to either one of these two fellas.
yeah.
But my point with this is that, oh, great, he's gone. We are Milwaukee. We are not Boston Celtics. We are not the Los Angeles Lakers.
No.
We won a championship a few years ago. We are on the path to potentially win another one. You're hearing a bunch of people about this window's closed and that window's closed. That blows my effing mind. We got to get what we can for Giannis and rebuild. That blows my effing mind. You need to be rebuilding around Giannis and Dame. And that's where it ends, right? You got to rebuild. You rebuild around Giannis and Dame. What
small market it's just what you get with small market teams. The fans turn on you way quicker than like big markets.
So Giannis did come out and say here in the last 24, 48 hours, he did come out and say, listen, I'm not going to ask for a trade. This is a business. If they trade me, I'm going to put my shoes on and play wherever the hell they put me. But I'm never going to ask for a trade. We're building something or something along those lines.
Well,
it was a long-ass quote.
Believe him
If Dame didn't get hurt,
yes,
Dame didn't get hurt, they probably would have won that game.
If Giannis, I mean,
the game, yeah.
And we hate talking about woulda, coulda, shouldas on this show, but injuries happen. They're part of these sports. Yeah. You have to beat your opponent, father time, mother time, whatever you want to call it, and the injury bug. And when you do that successfully and it all comes together for you perfectly in this magical moment, then you have the opportunity. And if you get the opportunity, I wouldn't rather have anybody on my team other than Giannis Antetokounmpo and Damian Lillard. It just stinks with the stroke of luck, per se, that they've gotten themselves into.
Yeah. I'm like, and this is the thing, for anybody to say that Giannis is upset, I'm like, what professional athlete wouldn't be upset, especially when you're trying to contend for a title?
You're trying to make a playoff run. You got ousted in the first round.
Of course he's upset. Like, he lost. Who wouldn't be upset?
Well,
especially when you're in your prime as a player. You're in the best time of your life right now. And you lose the way you lose, especially because you won a championship 4 years ago. And it's once you get that taste of a championship, you want it back. You're not satisfied with just winning one. Nobody's satisfied with that.
There's a psychological effect happening too. And again, I blame LeBron James and Kevin Durant for this one. You're not on your own this time, LaFlop, but I also blame people like Kevin Durant for this one. No, I don't blame you for chasing rings. I don't blame you for that. But the culture you've now shown everyone else that what Steph Curry's doing is an anomaly, right? No, like what Steph Curry is doing and has done is foundational NBA. You don't normally get these prissy-ass people who try to put themselves on the absolute best teams all the time because they don't want to work really hard to beat the competition. Right. What we grew up in, what we saw were these rivalries, and you do have it with Boston. Right now you have Boston against everyone, right? Like that Boston team's a homegrown team. So you do have it. You've got Jason Tatum there, who should be the face of the NBA over Anthony Edwards. I love Anthony Edwards, but Jason Tatum should be the face of the NBA over Anthony Edwards. If that's what we're talking about. Face of the league? I'm not disagreeing with that either, but if you're picking one, right? Like I did hear somebody, what if he wins it? Shut the fuck up. Tatum's already won a championship. Like, we don't have to say what if. Tatum's still right here. He did it first. He got there. There's the finish line, in my opinion. But I do love the why can't they both be it? I think that the NBA's in really good hands as soon as LaFlop leaves.
I think like Tatum, not to just slightly piggyback, the Tatum Ant thing could be what could have been with Kobe and LeBron, but never happened right before he went to Miami. They stay on the teams that they got drafted with because he was still in Cleveland at the time. They were supposed to meet at the finals. That didn't happen because Cleveland lost to Orlando and then playing the Lakers. And then so we never got that finals matchup from LeBron and Kobe. So if we could see them,
I would love to see Tatum and Edwards in the NBA finals.
That would be a sick thing to see.
Yeah, it'd be cool. Yeah.
I see what you're saying with Tatum and all that, but
and there are other people that needs to be put in that conversation as well. That's not what we're saying, but I'm just to make it black and white. And so now, right now, oh, look at that, 51-51. Going
I got a different score, but I'm gonna let y'all be
53-51.
50, yeah, that's what 53. Yeah, 53-51. Yeah. I'm not in the middle of the cornfield, I swear. I must be a little behind. But anywho, So you got the Pistons and New York Knicks coming up. I think this has been the best series so far. I really hope it goes to a Game 7.
It's been gritty.
They've been tough. They've been close. I think the numbers last time I looked was Detroit was a 1.5 point favorite, but New York was a 54% chance to win. Yeah. So some home, blah, 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 blah. I haven't looked into the NBA betting numbers often. So there isn't much for us to talk about right now, but as soon as that series gets over, there's going to be a lot for us to talk about. So we'll be hitting that up next week, along with the Boston and Orlando, which
they won already.
Good for them.
Yeah.
They got a game in. Boston won already?
Yeah, they won the series. They're waiting on.
They're the other one
They're waiting on this one.
Okay. Yeah, it kind of stinks that the winner of this wins their playoff matchup and they have a rested Boston Celtics waiting for them. But it's going to be an awesome series as long as the Knicks don't make it. Otherwise, Boston in 4.
yeah.
I think the Pistons get 2 from Boston, but the Knicks will struggle to get 4. Oh, throw them to the ground. 55-51. So I wanted to touch a little bit on the NHL, but there's only a little bit to talk about on the NHL right now. There's
no upsets. All the teams that are favored to win are winning. It's a stinker.
It's going well. There's been some great hockey. That is not what we're telling you.
Way better than playoff basketball.
Yes, there has been some great hockey. It's not that it's going the way that we thought it was going to go, but it's just ending how we thought it was going to end. The story still isn't written, and there's been some fantastic hockey played. I want to end this with WWE. Yes, this is where we slide in our WWE segment.
We got a pay-per-view that I believe that is on what's today? Next Saturday. It's called Backlash, and so I don't know how many if you're aware of.
I remember Backlash as a kid.
They're bringing back some of the old pay-per-views from back in the day, slowly here and there.
Cool.
Some are coming into the as far as like SmackDown, Raw.
Man, I remember
NXT.
The video game now too.
Yeah, y'all remember the Orton Cena feud from back in the day?
Yeah.
It's making a comeback.
Okay.
So
I love it.
Like I called it right after WrestleMania. I said that Orton was going to face
Cena.
And
when he says
WWE
he called
title.
it, you can go onto his Facebook page, which you could find in the links everywhere where we do our things, and you can see to the moment he did call this. Yes.
And so they're doing it Backlash St. Louis. That was, for me, I thought that was going to be the match to see. I still think it's going to be one of the heavy matches. However, now, as of, what are we on, Thursday? As of Monday, it has been made official. Last week on Monday Raw, Gunther, who lost his World Heavyweight title to Jey Uso at WrestleMania, choked out Pat McAfee on Monday Night
I heard
Raw
a little bit
week.
about this.
He was coming after Michael Cole.
There was potential legal issues with this.
And so last night or on Monday, he came in and he got on his little podium. He's listen, I don't know who's back there that I need to talk to, but I need y'all to come out. He goes, I need Gunther's suspension to be lifted, and me and him got to fight. And so Nick Aldis was the acting GM at the time. He's like, listen, what we're going to do is I'm not going to lift the suspension. I'm not just going to let you fight him because y'all two are too important to the show and to this industry. But what I'm going to do you one better. Next Saturday at Backlash, you and Gunther are going to have hands on each other in the ring. And not only just that, y'all know the Steiner brothers, right?
Familiar.
Yes,
Papa
sir.
Pump.
Yeah.
He's going to be in Pat McAfee's corner, and he's training him for this fight against.
Oh, that's sick.
So I'm excited for this.
Now, do we expect to see bruises on Pat next week on his show?
He only got choked out, so no bruises.
I think he's good enough. It's not gonna.
No, I meant after the wrestling match.
Probably, but this isn't going to be his first match. So he doesn't wrestle often. When he was part of NXT, he wrestled a lot more, especially against Adam Cole and all that. But since he's been commentating, he doesn't do it
as
often.
But
the moment that he put his elbow to chin, I was like, uh-oh, Pat's about to fight too. Because Pat, listen, regardless of wrestling, Pat ain't no bitch.
By no means.
And wrestling is entertainment.
If you watch any of this man's highlights as a punter, he will put somebody on his ass as a punter still. So he's not a punk. He doesn't shy away. He's got
buttload of really cool clips in the NFL of him
Yeah.
tackling people. Actually, and he's
So he's not
And
so
touchdown
just,
passes.
He's not like a little
Yeah.
white guy. This guy got some toughness to him. So to see him back in the ring is going to be good to see. But this is
All right.
I'm hoping that The Rock stays away from WWE for the rest of his life because he's annoying.
he lost, right?
No, he's just one of those pesky.
No, I meant at WrestleMania.
He didn't fight. He's just an annoying nuisance. He's just there for
Oh.
no reason.
Oh, come on now.
Turning into Paul Hyman.
Yeah, it's just you're here for no reason. Why are you here? Go stay in Hollywood.
Go back to your movies. Make us Black Adam 2.
Go
Hey,
over
be-
there.
Make us Black Adam 2, bro.
So he's just become that annoying uncle that just wants to just hang around for old time's sakes, like a Ric Flair type situation. Bro, let it go.
That's fantastic.
But yeah, that's what I got for WWE so far. So
Well,
good.
so the Women's Intercontinental Championship will be on the line as
Yes.
Becky Lynch challenges Lyra Valkyrie.
Yeah.
And this match was made official after Lynch turned on Valkyrie following their brief tag team title reign at WrestleMania 41. What's up with that?
So Becky was gone for about a year after she lost her world title last year, and she came back in a storyline.
It's good to see Becky back.
Yeah, it was a bogus
Fan favorite.
storyline, whatever. She's still one of my dope players, but Laura is also Irish, and she looks up to Becky. Like that's part of the storyline that she looks up to her. She's one of the reasons why she's in the business, and so she needed a partner because her partner Bayley got injured right before WrestleMania, and she didn't know who her partner was going to be, and she called her last minute. Music came on. She got this gigantic pop, of course, because it's Becky. And they won the tag team titles. Then the next day on Raw, they lose the titles, and she just turns on her.
Wow.
It was a weird moment just because it was an unexpected turn. I guess you embarrassed me. The man doesn't lose, stuff like that. You know, the ego trip stuff. And I think she's turning heel because her husband, Seth Rollins, is also turning heel. And he just teamed up with Paul Heyman and Braun Breaker, which is one of the Steiner brothers' son. And I think that they might be all teaming up at some point to make this big faction team. Yeah. But yeah, that's going to be a good fight because they're both very good competitors. I'm a big fan of Becky Lynch. So it's going to be interesting to see how this all plans out. Oh, I got one bad thing. I don't know if it's going to happen at Backlash, but I feel like I've heard these rumors.
Okay.
Logan Paul is apparently supposed to be fighting Jey Uso at some point in the near future for the World Heavyweight
For a
Championship.
title match. I've been hearing rumbles about this.
When I tell you I'm tired of this mother... like
I think it'll just be a platform for him to lose, and it'll help out their television show on Max.
I hope they
which I guess is going pretty well. Awesome. I can't wait to hear more about this. And when Backlash will be on Netflix?
Next Saturday, it'll be on Peacock.
Peacock. Oh, I'm watching it. Peacock?
Yeah.
Oh, I can't wait.
Peacock,
There's no more
Monday Night Raw's
pay-per-views
okay.
anymore. Yeah.
They're not pay-per-views anymore. They're called premium live events.
Yeah. You just gotta buy. You gotta buy. You have to have.
So as long as you got a subscription with Peacock, you should be able to watch.
I got a subscription with Peacock, so here we go.
Yeah.
Awesome. I'll have to get it to my dad too. He's a huge
It's gonna be good.
wrestling fan. Perfect. Alrighty. Thank you for that. Because I'm just getting back into it, so I don't know much now, but we'll have more to talk about here soon. Basically, the next episode, I'll be coming in looking like Hulk Hogan.
We don't like him
get
no
the
more.
sunglasses out. I appreciate it.
So, do you guys have anything else you wanted to add?
No, I think we did a pretty good job covering it all.
We did good today.
Yeah.
Under an hour.
Under an hour. This is going to work perfect.
45 fucking minutes, and I told you that you're not going to be able to do 45 fucking minutes, and you didn't listen.
Hey,
I didn't reply yay or nay. Listen, for all of our listeners out there, thank you so much. We're here another day, and we're here for you. We're here for us. We actually love each other's company. Our buddy Mike will be back soon.
Yes.
Very excited to see that. Detroit ends up taking the lead at half, 61-59. That's fantastic, baby. This has been the best matchup.
Easily.
Listen, if the NBA rigs things, Detroit will win this, and there will be a Game 7. This has been the best series so far. The NBA couldn't have asked for a better.
Absolutely.
And to think that they were Man, Tobias Harris. And to think that they only won 14 games last year. Listen, thank you all of our listeners out there. We effing appreciate the hell out of you. I can't tell you how much we appreciate you. And I know from the bottom of my heart that the world is a much better place as long as you continue to be the best you can be.
Backstage twerking to our open ends. This ain't just some summer song. This that drop your panties bomb. This that late night porn strong. Talk your shit and tag along. I see the crew posted up, shirts off, ears up, talking louder than your ex. Wish you fuck shit up. Too raw, too deep. We don't sleep, we eat. Hotter than a bikini when you're 13. Now we out here living that goddamn dream. We don't ball, even dumbest. Thought it in the mall, it's the body custom linger. It's that hell yeah, let's go. We ain't taking summers off. We melt ice with what we drop. Sipping bourbon, talking reckless. Still the hottest in the spot. We them boys with the flame. Say our name, say it vain. Then we cook your whole brand like a steak in propane. Still wild, still elite. Still them boys with the heat. Hotter than your first crush pics on the beach when you were 13.